Nobody coming or anything. Let's see what these signs are, and then we'll turn around. This is post office. There it is. That's exactly what we were looking for right there. Well, nobody behind, but we'll go up, turn around, and park right over there in the dirt, just so I can go take a picture real quick. Oh, there we go. There's the thumbnail. Ward, Colorado. Now you know what we're doing. Hey, everybody. We're going camping. As you probably know, if everything's going according to how I think it's going to go, you already know from both the thumbnail and the clip that just came before this, establishing what the goal is. We're at a Safeway in Boulder. I haven't gone to the cabin yet, but we're headed that way up the mountain into Ward, Colorado, because I thought, boy, given my last name, that's a funny place. And I found a reasonably priced Airbnb cabin. So we're going to spend 2 days up completely off the grid, essentially, in Ward, Colorado. But I got to get groceries first because I have no food. Hence, Safeway. Got the groceries. I can turn off the AC for a minute so you could actually hear. This car is packed to the brim. I don't know how well you could tell all the way back to there. It is to the gills. It is as full as the car could possibly get. It took me 12 trips. The only other thing that happened while I was in there is I started getting calls and then a text going, "This is who this is, please answer." And I got it, and it was the lady who's with the Airbnb, who swears this never happens. But somebody else is also checking into another cabin on the property. There's multiple. And they got so lost and confused and couldn't follow the directions, which I have printed out. There are specific directions on how to get there and where to find the cabin on there, because there's multiple cabins on the property. And they got so lost and confused that they wound up checking them into this to make it easier, check them into the one that I was supposed to be staying in. And they went, okay, now you, Michael, you stay in this one instead. Should be fine. Doesn't really make all that much difference to me. The only thing she says, she's like, it's not as private because I think it's closer to the main cabin, and then the other one that I rented was going to be further. I don't know, we'll see. It's really hot in here. We're going to hit the roads. I want to get up there before dark for sure. It's only 5 and the sun sets at 8:30, but I definitely don't want to be trying to drive up the mountain and locating this place that Google Maps will not take me to. Was very clear about that, and the directions are there, and they're all very specific, and it's been a busy day. I'm ready to relax, and we still have quite a bit to do. So let's get the drive done. Let's get up into the mountains. Let's find the place. Let's unload most stuff and worry about dinner. Should be an easy dinner at the very least. And I got all my groceries, I think, by the end of it. There's a lot of back and forth across the store, but I think by the end I got it all. All right, let's go. Take 2. I did this once, but I realized that camera doesn't exactly show and doesn't have the widest angle. There's the place. There is not the place. That one is way more expensive. Someone's already booked into there. I've started unloading the car already. Let's take a look around. This is the little shed. There's the firewood we are not supposed to use, which is fine. I brought my own. We will be needing it. I already opened the door up. I've been moving stuff in already, but you can just take a look around. There's also a propane grill, so that's one of the options, and a place to kind of sit around. This will probably be nice. Forest. It's nice and quiet all around. Very cool. This is not the property that I actually booked. This cabin, very similar. It's apparently slightly bigger. I've mentioned it before. There was a whole thing while I was in the grocery store. She was calling me, the owner of the property. Somebody else rented this one. Somebody else rented the big one. There's a family of 8. The other one is down that way. That's the one I rented. But somebody who rented it, apparently a young kid who was so confused and just caused a whole just ruckus of stuff, wound up checking themselves into that one. The whole confusion, she just checked them into there and then realized, and it doesn't bother me. I don't care. It really doesn't matter to me. But this one will do fine. So inside here, I've already started loading stuff up. She was here. She called me. I said, no problem. It doesn't matter. I'm fine. This will work. They're basically the same thing. This one apparently slightly bigger, but more or less the same. It's cute. It's a cute little cabin. I started already loading all my stuff in. She was here, so we talked for a few minutes. She's very friendly and talkative, and that's fine, and doing all this. But yeah, little kitchen area. I think they got everything. There's another stove thing, so you can cook there if you don't want to grill outside. That's fine. I'm trying to be as self-sufficient as possible. We'll see how it works. But I started loading all my stuff up into here. But yeah, cute. And then, you know, up some stairs. And there's a loft. And this is where we sleep. Okay, I don't think there's enough room to stand up. I love that there's a skylight. This is going to be great. Because it's a nice clear view directly ahead, of course. You don't have any trees or anything. I don't like going downstairs. There's steps or ladders all that much. I'm not super comfortable with it, but there we go. Okay. So I got to finish unloading the car. I'm not going to bring all the wildlife stuff in here, I think. And I'm going to do the best that I can. We have battery backup stuff we can talk about later on. That's one option. But we are here for 2 days. It is Saturday at 6:45. I'll need to start thinking about what I want to do for dinner soon. I'd like to get everything in. I put my food in the cooler for what needed to stay cool. She talked to me about a trail that's not too far, and I don't mind showing this on the property. We are on the property now, proper. That's something I didn't do last time because it was an RV on someone's property, and it was a little bit different, but I thought about it and I went, okay, I will not show, like I did a bit of driving and the camera cut out anyway. Battery died on the GoPro, surprise. And I didn't have the battery bank plugged in because again, I'm trying to be a little bit frugal, trying to be, you know, we got to balance these batteries out to last 2 days on all of my recording equipment across everything. So anyway, this place is an Airbnb. It's a rental of some kind. It is not a public institution. It is not a motel. At some point, the owner could decide, we're not doing this anymore. Unlikely, but you could look it up right now on Airbnb. You wouldn't, you'd be able to find it. I'm sure there's not all that many places, but when I saw this place in Ward, Colorado, I went, yeah, that's great. So yes, at some point in the future, that does not give me the right to give you directions exactly how to get here. That's not something Airbnb publishes. It's not something that they publish to anyone just out on anywhere. So I will not be doing that, but we're here on the property. And that's fine. I'm not going to only film from inside. I don't mind being outside except when other people are going to be around because apparently, like I said, somebody's checked into one cabin over there and somebody's checked into the big cabin. So we'll see. It would be nice, especially if we had the more private one that's further down. I probably would sit outside and record and not worry about it because I think I'd be quiet enough that I wouldn't be bothering anybody. But if there's people in the big cabin, I might not. I might not. It would work, certainly, because we would need a lot of light. And inside's not going to have a lot of light. And I plan on having a few things to talk about while we're here. But we'll do the best that we can. And we'll see what we can do. So, at 6:45, I'm going to finish unloading the car with the stuff that actually needs to come in. And I think go take a little walk. She talked to me about a hiking trail that they have on their property. And I think I want to check that out more than anything else before we wrap up for the night. I'm getting a little hungry. I also need to think about cooking dinner, and it'll take a little bit, so that'll be part of it too. All right, let me get the car unloaded. With the car mostly unloaded, I left all the big wildlife camera stuff in there, which, by the way, we are strapped this weekend. That's one way of putting it. We have a full loadout. I really thought about it and went, you know what? Yeah, both still photography cameras, and let's go ahead and bring 2 tripods and the big cameras for, you know, not the biggest, but for the most part, so we can do video, audio, and still photography should we need to. But I'm not going to take in any of that right now. I want to go scope the place out a little bit. There's a trail on the property, so I'm going to walk and go check that out. Where's my comb? Yeah, this one's definitely smaller, but, you know, would have been further away. I would have liked it a little bit more. It's fine. I'm easygoing. Not going to bother me. There's a bird. Trail. I lost the trail. I stopped paying attention. It's marked. There's trail markers. And I just started focusing on the birds and looking at the wildlife, you know, or listening to it, not really looking. I stopped paying attention to the trail. So I know the direction that we were going. I'm just going to go back that way until I can find a trail marker again. Whoops. I went that way. Maybe it's this way? Oh yeah, but this is it. Yep. There we go. Okay, no, wait. That's where I just went, up that way and up and around there. But if you pay attention, Michael, there is a trail marker. And I bet up here, oh yeah, I can see the bench. I don't know if you can yet. It is straight up rocks. All right, here we go. Careful now. That one doesn't move. Yep. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. And then that gets you up to here. And then you can sit on the bench and you can see what I see. Look at this. I don't know how much this comes through on the camera, but wow. Oh, wow. That is worth it. Yeah. Wow. It's pretty nice. I'm happy. That's pretty cool. Took some pictures, even with just my phone. I'm happy. I think it's just gorgeous. Whew. Do love me some mountain range. All right, down we go. Home sweet home for a few days. Pretty dark. Time to get cooking. It's cooking time. That's why I'm doing this part. There's not going to be much tonight. It'll be what it'll be. I can run you through a bit of what we have here. Let's talk about some of the stuff that we have since last time. Last time we had a fridge in an RV. This is really, I mean, we're off grid here. We we have what we have. There's propane and there's what I brought. I brought in storage container, the usual, here, let's go ahead and start unpacking stuff here. We don't have that much light left. Wildlife belt can come over here. We probably are going to have to start a fire tonight in order to stay warm. I don't need it right now, but it's going to drop down into the 40s, and at 40s we will need a fire going. So I did bring firewood. I have a fire starter. They said that they had kindling and stuff. I think that's true. Yeah, there's paper there. That's perfect. In the way of groceries, this is supposed to be food. In the way of food, my food plan calls for grits in the morning. My food is going to be rice and beans tonight because it's super easy and I just heat them up. These are microwave, but they will heat up on a stove, I assume, just fine. I have a little cooktop. I got that. I got, oh, you know what? Did I actually get more beans? I did not. Well, that makes for a little bit of a sticky situation. I meant to get 2 cans of beans and I don't think I did. Bought some trail mix, ramen as a backup, protein bars so I don't go hungry, mac and cheese for lunch tomorrow. That should be fine. It's not going to taste great, but it's going to be some chips. I'm going to make nachos tomorrow night, bread, And then the cooler's got my water in it, my drinking water. I got some plant-based breakfast sausage for in the morning. I got some crumbles for the nachos tomorrow night. I didn't want to do too much. I really did not want to risk, and even I should be trying to keep this as closed as much as possible. I bought ice packs and there's water in there. That's basically what I was trying to get at to show you. But this cooler, first of all, I've got it up a bit. Yeah. This cooler, if you believe the sticker, I forgot to bring it with me. I took the sticker off from the front. But if you believe the sticker, it said it'll keep ice in there for 35 days. I do not believe that. But I bought ice packs as well because I figured that would work, freeze them up, and then I'm not spending so much money on ice. So I have that. I got the cooktop that we had from last time. I do believe that is in here. Yep. Got the cooktop. So again, they have some options here. They got this. I can cook on this. This should be fine. They have propane. There's a propane grill outside. I can use that, but I want it to be as self-sufficient as possible. I now have the battery bank. This is my battery generator. I had to get one. We talked about it last time. I had to get one that would power that. That thing pulls like 1,500 watts. So I had to get one big enough and powerful enough, beefy enough that we could do it. Contract work helped pay for that. That's for sure. This thing was not cheap, but it works. It works and it's good. And it came with a little bundle with an even little one so I can charge all my electronics, which will be great. And I'm sure something we can talk about at another point in time. But that'll work, and that gives me an area to cook. Or a thing to cook on, and I'm going to try. That was the thing. I don't know if I can get through the whole weekend of 2 days with this, and I certainly can't do any longer. I tested this with the stove cooktop there. I just put one burner on, a small pot of water, brought it to a boil, boiled it for 5 minutes or so. You know, I turned it off after that point, and we used, I think, 15% of the battery. So actually cooking things, that's why I had to plan for things that are pretty quick and don't take a whole lot. Just boiling water shouldn't be that bad, use power-wise. Cooking a pot of pasta or rice, cooking not pre-cooked rice, that would take a much longer, that would use a lot more power. What I do have also, I did not bring it in because I have no reason for it right now. I'll set it up tomorrow after we cook tonight. And we'll cook tonight and tomorrow's breakfast. And then I will set it up in the daytime for the sunlight. I have a solar panel for it, so that should help charge some. And yes, there is a bit. I'll have to figure out where to put it outside to really, get the best sunlight. And we'll try to charge it as much as we can. Hopefully that'll be enough to get me through. If not, of course, there's backup. They have their own stuff, and I'm more than capable of doing that. Something else Bonnie was like, why would you bother? I'm trying to be as self-sufficient as I can. This setup. We're testing. This is kind of another test. Our first test was, I guess I could turn it around. First test was in the RV. Is it possible at all? That worked. Second test, here, off grid, no electricity. I have to be self-sufficient for everything there. Third test, camping. Is that like tent camping? That might not happen this year because I got to buy a tent, and that's even more expensive, and this is a lot, and it's already getting pricey, and work is a whole thing, and yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen necessarily right away or anytime soon, but that's the next logical step. That's the next conclusion. Gotta go camping with a tent. That's probably going to be like going out into the wilderness, pitching a tent and staying that way. That's a whole other can of stuff, but that's where this will really come in handy, where you just don't have any other option but to build a fire or use a propane grill or the battery. Hopefully, we'll see what we get out of that with the solar. I'll be thrilled if I can cook all the meals. We have a dinner tonight, breakfast tomorrow, lunch tomorrow, although I think lunch isn't going to require any cooking. I think I'm just making a peanut butter. Oh no, it'll be mac and cheese and a peanut butter sandwich. The bread is just kind of like what else? I was trying to get things like you saw SpaghettiOs probably. That's just hey, I can eat this. This will be fine. I don't have to do anything but really heat it up. I can do that on the I can do that on the fire. It'll be fine. I got to get moving on this stuff. But yes, meal-wise, that's dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast on Monday. 5 meals. If this thing can do 5 meals, I'll be thrilled. But I don't think we're going to get that way unless we get good sunlight and really let it charge a lot tomorrow. We'll try. We'll see. Who knows? All right. I got to get moving on this stuff because the light's almost done and I want to be eating. I am hungry and it is later than I usually eat, and then I want to go to bed. So I'll do what I can to kind of show you what I'm working with. I'll get set up in here and do a couple of quick shots. But again, kind of the theme for all this, it's not quite like last time. Last time we got a lot of footage. We'll get what we can here, but I got to be a little bit frugal and make sure these batteries last 2 days. I have backup batteries, I have a charger, but that's it. Once we hit that limit, I got nothing else. And if I run out of recording options at that point, oh well. I think I may have said it in the last one at the RV camping trip. Get a can opener, Michael. You need a can opener if you're going to buy canned food. Thankfully, they have one. That's a bit bright. There's a can opener. Thankfully, because boy, I'm looking at my can of black beans for dinner tonight and going, I do not have a can opener. Oh no, I'm digging through the boxes here going, where do I have a can opener? And apparently I just don't have one, so add it to a list, buy a can opener. Come on, Michael. Got some beans. That's what we got. Beans on the stove. Gonna heat these up a bit, cook off a little bit of that bean juice because I didn't think to drain it before I just went pouring it in, plus that'll help. Then I'll add a pouch of rice and heat it up, call it done, eat it. What kind of seasoning we got up here? Oh, flickering. Sorry. Not much I can do about that with these, flapjack and waffle mix. I don't plan on making that, but you know. Well, they do have cooking spray. All right, so there's a couple of things I could do. It's basic, but beans, salt, garlic powder, pepper. And then I was perusing their spices, and Tony Chachere's original Creole seasoning tastes pretty good, considering I don't have any cumin, which would be about the other thing that I would want to put on there. I do have tahini, but, you know, we're Mexican tomorrow. There's chili powder, oregano, Cajun, Italian, zesty, lemon pepper. That'll be fine. Let's put that rice in. It tastes good. I just had a little bit. I'm just going to throw some cheddar broccoli rice in there. Call it done. Call it done. It might not look great. Probably would have looked a little better if I cut it, but hey, it'll do. Downside, I took a bit more than I was hoping. Down to 78%. But we are done. I did the best. It retains heat pretty well. Cooked up the beans. We'll let it go for a bit. One meal, 22. I don't think we're going to hit 5 meals. But hey, dinner's just about ready. Definitely tastes like rice and beans. Note for tomorrow evening, be totally wrapped up with everything, dinner, dishes, all of it, by sunset. It's really dark in here, and I still gotta wash dishes. Well. I gotta build a fire. I don't want to. It's not nearly cold enough, but it's deceptive. I know that from the last camping trip. Just because it feels fine right now does not mean it's gonna stay fine all night. And I'm not going to be able to just hunker down in 40-degree weather. I'd have to really bundle up. I could do it, but it'd be very uncomfortable, even though it's very comfortable right now. So I will have to start a fire. Hopefully it doesn't get too warm in here, but I bet it will. I don't know. I think I left the firewood in the car. Shoot. I think I left the firewood in the car. It is 9:30. I'm about to head to bed. It's definitely warm in here. I just made one final bathroom trip for the evening. Just in case, we definitely have a fire going. It was caught. Just in case if not, I'm going to take some clothes up with me. I've got a hoodie and sweatpants and gloves and a beanie. Just in case. But, here. I can hear it, but I don't know if you can. Just double check. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got a fire going. That should get us through the night for sure. Might even make it a little too warm in here. But windows are open for ventilation. Not going to have any smoke problems. And takes time for bed. clear my stuff out of here so I can get on up into the loft. I kind of like the loft. It's definitely warmer up here. I'm gonna go get one of these windows open as soon as I can. Let's see. Yep, the one right here. There we go, right next to the bed. Okay. This'll do. I think this'll do. I sleep with my head at the other end, or it'd be falling off. I could see out the skylight, which doesn't look like anything. But it's something. It is something. I think a bit of reading before bed. I've got my tablet and over there. We'll talk about that tomorrow a bit more, probably. But I think that's going to do it for tonight. I get some sleep. I'm so tired. I'm already like, boy, do I really want to do wildlife tomorrow? Yes, it's kind of the whole point. Get up, get the energy, and get out there. Good night, everybody. See if we can get to a spot where we can see it. Maybe over here. Yeah, through the trees. Not quite a full moon, but pretty close. That's cool. Morning. It's 5. I can't. I want to sleep more, but I just can't fall asleep. Again, I did not sleep well. I do not want to get up and go look at wildlife, but that's what we're here to do, so I have to pee so badly. It's cold. The fire definitely helped. It definitely kept me from freezing, but it is cold in the morning here, and I'm gonna bundle up and I guess get going. Alright, enough of that. Let's get going. Alright. Let's go see what we can see. Quiet little mountain areas, this town. I can't think of quiet little mountain town and not think of South Park. But this is what we got. We are headed to the recreation area that's up here. There's nobody on the road, thankfully, so I don't feel too bad holding the camera, but I'm not gonna do it the whole time. Just wanted to give you a look at the beautiful mountain that's around. I don't know what we're gonna find or see around here, but we're going and we're looking. We'll see. Well, that tells me what I need to do. Well, that was where the lake is. Oh, wow, there's so many people here already. Holy crap. It's not that many. But there's a trailhead here. There's going to be people biking. There's going to be people walking the trail. I imagine the trail is going to be popular, which is not really what I'm looking for. There's a lake that was further up the road there. I could walk it, but I don't know how much further it is to walk necessarily. But I'm kind of thinking, if I just come to the end of the parking lot and walk like over that way a bit, unless that's the trail, we can definitely see the mountain. At the very least, we might be able to go over that way some and kind of just tuck myself into the woods a little bit and watch the mountain. We get a nice morning sunrise mountain, maybe, shot. I don't know. I was thinking I was going to the lake, and the road's closed, so
I don't know if that's just because it's a little bit too early. Maybe it would open up here in the next half hour or something, or if it would just be, I guess we'll find out, and we still have tomorrow too, should we want to come back out in the morning. Or the evening. I also have the evening. So, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let's get going. Well, it doesn't go quite back as far. I thought, there's a trail kind of leading back in there, but it basically dead ends right there. And the more I go in for trees, the less I can see of any good landscape. So I can either be in the thick of the trees, which historically doesn't always work out well for seeing wildlife. I'm hearing some though, and I think this tree line might present me with some opportunities, and being able to see the mountain peak would be cool for the wide angle shot. Here's hoping. You ever just look around and suddenly go, how did I end up here? Not so much physically the location, I drove here in a car, but more in the grand sense of just, this is where my life is. Fun. Wild. Fun. Having a good time. Didn't see much today. So, we're making the most of it that we can. I thought I picked a good spot. I was hoping, definitely in the tree line over here. I was really hoping that we might see something, but what are you gonna do? There was a couple here and there. Started out right as soon as we got the camera set up with a woodpecker, but by the time I had focused the lens onto it and started getting it actually in focus, it took off. So we've seen things here or there a little bit, but just not a whole lot today. Not a whole lot in this particular spot. It's been a couple hours and I'm getting hungry, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and head on back to the cabin, but definitely we'll have more today. I think I know of another spot we might be going out later. We'll see. I want to kind of save the energy a bit. It's certainly taxing plugging all this stuff with me and setting it all up. It takes a bit out of me. But hey, this is where we're at and this is what we're doing. It's fun.
breakfast time in the morning. And as I mentioned last night, we will be having grits. We will be having sausage. Let's see. I'll be cooking some sausage on the pan there, and we're going to get going with this. Boy, these sausages sure stuck to the pan this time. I don't know why. I cook these at home, although I usually have a non-stick. I should get a non-stick. Anyway, breakfast is just about ready. Should have just stayed here for wildlife. There's birds all over. Hummingbird just came right in front of me, checked me out, and then went over that way. And now here's where I'll sit for the next few hours, maybe. Or at least until I get bored. I'm going to pull out a camera because there's plenty of wildlife around. Here, there, and everywhere. I've seen it. And I'm going to read a book. Never read it. Always told I need to read it. It's about the only physical book I went and looked on the shelf and went, I haven't read this. I'll bring it with me. And now, I'll read it. Hopefully. And I have a nice view of the woods with an opportunity to see birds. It's going to be nice. Today, we're talking about tablets. It's probably at least a little ironic, if that is the proper use of the word, that as far away from technology as you can be in a cabin in the woods that is off the grid with no electricity or running water, I am choosing to take the time to talk about electronic devices. I got another goal accomplished that I thought I would do while I was out here. I recorded a video. I haven't talked about it specifically so that I could do it, and I figured I'd do it at home in the usual setup with the lights and cameras that I have, and then I thought, wait, but I'm gonna have plenty of time when I'm not out doing wildlife and I'm just in a cabin in the woods. So I recorded a video about tablets. The tablets that I've had, that'll come out as part of this, I guess. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make some lunch. That's what I was coming back around to, maybe after lunch going on a hike and going to look and explore a little bit more. But at the same time, I don't want to push myself too much, which is why tomorrow might be the photography day. You know, we did a day of video. It would be good to do another day of video, but if I just don't have a place to go, I don't know where I'm going to set up and record. My whole plan kind of, I didn't really plan it out too much. It was like, let's go to a cabin in the woods and figure it out from there. And we are figuring it out. But the other part of figuring it out was the fact that there is that, lake not too far by, but it's closed. So nothing you can do. Didn't expect that. Anyway, lunchtime. Got the propane going this time. No problem. Bring this bad boy to a boil, and then I'll make some deluxe macaroni and cheddar. That is a cooked pot of pasta. Let it cool a little bit, and then I don't want to burn my mouth. I'll put it in there with the cheese sauce, and maybe some more Tony Satcheries. It was pretty good last night when I put on that stuff. Well, it is a bowl of mac and cheese, as described. You know what? I need to clean my face for one thing. Tony Satcheries, 2 for 2. I'm going to have to get some of that. I'm going to have to look up to see what they make that with. Maybe I can make my own spice blend of that, because that's delicious. I had no idea. I've never used it before. It's 4 o'clock, and apparently it might rain. So I don't think we're getting any more sun today, based on the forecast. I wound up moving this all around the various places here. What do we end up with? Put us up to 69%. Nice. Actually, not. It's been out since this morning. That is a very slow charge, huh? Alright, I knew it wasn't going to be perfect, but... Oop, yep, there's thunder. Alright, let's make sure everything's inside. Here we go. It rained a little here and there. It wasn't quite as much, although it is getting dark in here, so that's better. That does literally nothing. But it's fine. It is starting to get a little dark. It's about 6 o'clock now. I've just been reading. Not much else to do. Once I saw that it was raining and I brought everything, I was like, just go ahead and head on up to the loft and read for a while, which was nice. That Ender's Game, good book. Unsurprisingly, everybody told me it would be, and they were not wrong. I'm enjoying it. I think I'm like 10 chapters in, considering my reading habits at most are about a chapter a day. Yeah, we've made a lot of progress today, which is good. I'm gonna start dinner, and then I'm gonna start a fire, and then I'm gonna go to bed. I guess it's about all I have left today. So, yep, that's what I'm gonna do. The real question is, will this work? I kind of made them like shreds. I kind of shredded the cheese. And try to put a layer of it. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea. I don't know if this light is helping or not, but it's not flickering. That's nice. It's not that hurts. Anyway, I took a bowl and flipped it upside down and put a bit of water inside there. There's a little bit of meltage. But I'm also just steaming the chips, which is not going to leave them crispy. So I think we just go with what we got here. It smells incredible. It's still sizzling. There's no way I can eat it without burning my mouth. But I want to. Can I do that? Can I just have like a little bit with the meat and cheese? Oh, so hot. Oh, so good. Oh, so hot. Oh. I'm happy. More small ones. I'll just go ahead and see if I can't toss them into the back there underneath. Nope, I missed. Nope, I missed. Nope, I missed. Cool. I gotta go with red so that it doesn't flicker. Fire's going. I did a whole thing and made a fire. And I'm going to bed. I think I got most everything I need. Wait. Is that still? Yep, that's got some left in it. I'll take a water bottle to bed. And up we go. Oh, there's still light up here. skylight. You need a skylight that goes all the way through. You just extend that all the way down through the bottom of the floor there. That's not gonna work. Alright, red light aside, I'm going to bed. I am exhausted. It is 8:39 and I am headed to bed. I may be reading, I may not be. I am very, very tired after not getting a lot of sleep last night and a long day today. Maybe this bed will be a bit more comfortable to me tonight. We'll see. But that's going to do it. I am going to sleep. Maybe more wildlife tomorrow. Maybe I just pack up and we go home. I don't know. What I do know is that this red light is not ideal. But, you know, it does work. Wait. Oh, nope, that's flashing. Yeah, there's really not much other than that. There we go. Now I'm going to bed. I was hoping it would rain earlier, and it did. It kind of rained a little off and on, and I read in the rain, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. I was hoping it would thunderstorm a little bit more. It would have been cool. Oh well. Good night, everybody. Maybe more tomorrow. Who knows? Okay, we gotta go. It's like 5:30. Sun's rising. I don't know if you can tell. I slept very, very poorly. I'm not feeling great. It was worse last night. It got so hot in here. Oh, I just wanted to put my phone in my pocket. It was so very, very hot in here. I woke up at 1 and had to go out to the outhouse to pee. And it was just, I could not get any airflow in here to cool it off. And of course, you don't want too much, but yeah, it retained the heat really well, this fire stove thing. I'm so tired. Okay, I've woke up in a pool of sweat, and as you can imagine, being on day 3 without a shower, I'm not pleased with how I smell. I wipe myself down and deodorize, but like there's only so much you can do. I need a shower. I am ready to leave and go, but we are going to make one last attempt to go see some wildlife, and hopefully we'll see something. Let me get ready and go. That was a moose. I think one of them is young, and the other one is maybe the mother. That's the path down to the lake that I was trying to get to, but we are trying to be as respectful as possible, give them all the space and distance that they want. This might be as far as we go today. Oh, there's 3. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, we definitely want to be very, very careful and respectful.
It's a beautiful lake. Absolutely gorgeous. Not much wildlife. I mean, there's some waterfowl. There's some red-winged blackbirds. It's definitely peaceful and pretty here. All the waterfowl are on the far side, so we don't get super clear photos of them or anything. Oh, there's the moose. Oh, stay there. So the young moose are playing. I don't see them right now. Last time I saw them, they were over in like that direction there in the trees a bit. Not trees, but I don't know what you call that. Reeds. But yeah, they I can't really get a good shot. They're in the tree line all the time. But the two young ones are like chasing each other around. They were doing it when I was back up there on the trail. When I was on the trail and I stopped, I backed up and everything. So there was a clearing right there. And they just started like frolicking and playing with each other. It's been good. It's been good. I did get a picture. I think they're going to be real grainy when we were back in the forest there because there's no light whatsoever. But here, the young one who's been very frisky, one of the two, went running right across on this side of the tree line. Bush line? Scrub line? They're not really trees. But anyway, I took some pictures of it running. Hopefully those come out. I think that's pretty cool, but very nice, very peaceful. It's just about time for me to go. It's been a few hours. Moose. We are back at the cabin. It is, I think, about 7:30. Yeah, I'm gonna no sleep. No. No. I guess you can see just fine in here. I'm ready to go, except I'm not. I have to do some packing, some considerable packing. I haven't decided if I'm going to eat breakfast. I think I'm just going to snack. My stomach's really not, Mexican last night, and also just the general food situation over the last few days is kind of different from my usual diet and what I've gotten used to, which includes a lot of salads and vegetables and things like that, and stuff that's good for you. And when I eat a lot of things that aren't so good for you, I don't sleep very well. That's another thing. It was so hot last night. I woke up at 1 and it must have been like 80 degrees in here. I was just sweating. Oh God. Anyway, I'll start packing up here shortly. Get changed out of wildlife clothes into something more comfortable and start packing. As I'm packing up here, I realized that in the bottom of one of these containers, I completely forgot one of the things that I thought I would bring because it was given to me by my partner, Bonnie. They had like freebie stuff here. We had samples given away at her work. She brings it home and goes, "Oh, you might need it for your trip." And well, she's right. If you, like me, are a woman on the go, you might need things like deodorant and a nail file and a spa therapy razor and shampoo and conditioner, toothbrush and toothpaste. Oh, dental sticks. I have most of this stuff, but it's just funny. She brought that home and gave it to me, and I went, "I'll use it. That's great. No, thank you." Tell you what, I don't know about 35 days, but we definitely still have some ice in there after a few days. And I think it kept food to food safe temperature, so I didn't keep it frozen, but that's fine. It kept it cold, and that's what I needed it for. So I think it worked quite well. I'm almost done packing up here. Got a few more things to load in the car, and then I gotta go through the checklist of cleaning stuff. It's, you stay in an Airbnb nowadays, you're gonna get a list of cleaning things to do. But it's not egregious. It's, mostly it's the dishes. Make sure you wash dishes. But I barely touched any of theirs. I think I used one spoon at one point, and I used everything else with myself. So I had to wash them to take them with me.
And I think that's because if they don't have someone booked to come in again right after, they probably don't have a cleaning service that's going to come out for a couple days. So then you're leaving dirty dishes in a cabin in the woods for multiple days where it's going to attract food. And I mean, it is food where it's going to attract wildlife. So it's that and sweep and like strip the bed and stuff like that. Very basic, typical things you would probably find and do. So nothing too bad. Just about ready to go. We'll see how much longer it takes me. I didn't do time-lapse shots as I typically would do. This one was probably a bit lighter on the footage, this camping trip, compared to the last one, because I wanted to conserve as much battery, but I have plenty, so I can go a little bit more next time. I can definitely I can express a bit further, because I still had a whole battery bank that I didn't even touch, and that would have been able to charge up multiple devices. So yeah, I can go a little bit more next time. Anyway, I finished getting packed up. Okay, that's that. Checked out, did all the steps. It's clean. Everything's good. We're going to head on out of here. That's a successful camping trip. Survived, did not get frozen overnight or starve or had any major emergencies or killed by a moose. So, a successful trip all the way around. Not as much wildlife as I would have liked, but hey, I can't complain. I saw moose today and I took pictures of them and they were cute. So, good deal. I'm going to get out of here. I'm tired. Bye, buddy. I don't know if I caught it, but there was the sign of Ward, Colorado. This is Ward, Colorado, the place that I saw on the map and went, oh, that's funny. Yeah, I should look and see if I could stay there. No hotels? Okay, that kind of makes sense. Airbnb? Oh, there's a cabin. And then it was sealed. And decided that would be the place I'd be coming to. It was a fun little stay.